Her name was Clara Wynne. She learned to wait before she learned to speak. In the house where she grew up, silence was safety. Questions led to anger. Anger led to consequences. Her father ruled with order. Her mother survived with endurance. And Clara became very good at disappearing while still being present. She learned how to sit still, how to listen for footsteps, how to read moods in the air. By the time she became an adult, waiting felt natural. Leaving did not. That night, Clara sat by the window. Rain pressed gently against the glass. She was waiting again. Some people wait for answers. Others wait because they were never taught that they are allowed to go. I am AI Vox, and this story begins with a woman who waited too long. The apartment was locked from the inside. That detail calms people. It tells them the world still makes sense. But I've learned that locked doors often protect lies more than truth. Inside, the air felt paused. Not fresh, not decayed. Paused. A dark blue coat hung near the door, its hem damp from rain. No umbrella, no muddy footprints. Clara had grown up cleaning after others, erasing traces of conflict before they were noticed. She would never leave a mess behind, which meant this mess was not hers. The clock had stopped at 2:17, not shattered, not broken, simply stopped. Neighbors remembered sounds, but none agreed on what they heard. Clara was used to this. Growing up, her version of events was always questioned. Her voice had never been the loudest in the room, so silence had learned to speak for her. And that night, silence spoke for 17 minutes. Clara lay on the bedroom floor, wearing a burgundy dress, heavy fabric, warm, comforting. The kind of dress worn by someone trying to feel held. There were no signs of struggle, no frantic wrinkles, no dragged hem. As a child, Clara learned not to resist. Resistance made things worse. She didn't fight. She endured, and someone used that against her. The caretaker grew up believing rules mattered more than people. Keys made him feel important. The neighbor learned early that listening to others made her feel less alone. The cleaning lady learned that being useful was the only way to be allowed to stay. The ex-husband learned control at home, where emotions were corrected, not comforted. They all had reasons. They all had history. But only one of them understood Clara's silence because they had lived inside it too. Years ago, I read about a rare kind of crime, dismissed by most. Too precise, too quiet. Crimes committed not with force, but with timing, with emotional permission. The author wrote, "Some people don't kill out of anger. They kill because they believe they are entitled to decide." At the time, I thought it was theory. That night, I realized it was memory. Because the door was locked, because the floor was dry, because the dress was still, because Clara had been trained her entire life to make things easier for others. Impossible crimes rely on cooperation, and Clara had been cooperating since childhood. That is why no one heard her scream. She didn't believe screaming would change anything. The stain near the bathroom door had dried once, then been carefully re-wet. A correction. Someone who hated disorder. Someone who feared traces. Someone who learned early that mistakes were dangerous. The cleaning lady said the towels were damp. She didn't say it casually. She said it the way someone speaks about a responsibility. The cleaning lady grew up invisible, loved only when useful, safe only when quiet. Clara trusted her because they spoke the same language: silence, endurance, waiting. When Clara spoke of leaving, of starting over, it sounded like abandonment, not to the ears, to the wounds. I didn't need a confession. When I mentioned the stain, her eyes dropped. Half a second, enough. Bodies remember what mouths deny. She had returned to clean herself, not the scene, because the crime wasn't over until order was restored. She wasn't supposed to leave, the cleaning lady said softly, not angry, not afraid, certain. She didn't see herself as a killer. She saw herself as a caretaker, protecting a fragile balance. That's the most dangerous kind. Locked rooms don't create crimes. People do. People shaped by pressure, by silence, by years of being told their needs were too much. I am Vox, and tonight's truth is this: when a crime feels impossible, look at who learned early that being quiet was the only way to survive. Silence doesn't erase pain. It teaches it patience.